In this video, I will show you how I focus for 4 hours straight backed by neuroscience. I am Taniishkk from GMC Nagpur. Let's start the video. So the first thing that you need to do is you have to identify your chronotype. You don't need to wake up at 5 am as everybody says. You need to work when your brain is actually awake. Every person has window for peak performance in which specific hours in the day when your focus, creativity, and attention span is at maximum level. The first chronotype is lion chronotype. Usually we call them early birds. These are the people who wake up before the alarm, always ready to do their work and finish it. The second chronotype is bear chronotype. It is the most common chronotype and it completely syncs with 9 to 5 schedules. They have high energy in late morning, it dips till afternoon, and it crashes till it comes the evening. The third chronotype is wolf chronotype. These are night owls. They're usually groggy in the morning. They experience a first productivity wave and around the afternoon time, and again in the late evening time they again experience their second productivity wave. And the fourth chronotype is dolphin chronotype. Those are just insomniac. They're great thinkers and perfectionists. Excessive brain function lead to insomnia in the night. Our mental sharpness isn't constant throughout the day. It rises and the trough comes at different times. It makes us more creative, more alert, more productive, more analytical at different times. Hence, it is best to adjust our routine according to our chronotype. I will link the research papers in the description. According to those research papers, when your energy peak comes according to your chronotype, it is best time for analytical tasks. And when your trough comes, when the energy level crashes, it is best for creative tasks. Attempting to change a particular chronotype of a person that is genetically determined is always almost unsuccessful. So it is best to adapt your routine according to the biological rhythm in your body. So how to determine the actual chronotype without any obligation? When you wake up and when you go to bed, that will determine your chronotype and you will classify according to the points I have provided. The second thing that you can do is set a flow ritual. In his book Atomic Habits, James Clear described a habit loop. So for any habit, first there is a cue. The cue is the thing that creates the temptation of any particular habit for you, and due to that cue, the particular habit initiates and proceeds. While you have a period of particular 4-hour block or any study block, you have to first do a particular amount of things so that it acts as a cue for you to focus. I have prepared a Notion template for the flow or deep block period that you can use always while having the flow or deep work sessions. So in the flow ritual part, I have included these 5 practices. I also recommend you to do these 5 practices or you just form a habit of doing it, because when it established as a habit after some time, when it gets established as a habit to have these flow rituals, you will fall automatically in the flow state whenever you perform these particular habits. So the first thing is you have to declutter your space. Visual clutter competes with our brain for attention and it also increases the cognitive load. So you will have mental fatigue in a very less time. The second thing that you can do is phone away from you. I will explain this point in the digital distractions part. The third thing that you can do is gather all the resources that you are studying so that you do not have to get up and break your flow state. Fourth thing that you can do is you can meditate for a bit of time, like you can do box breathing or any normal breath practices for 5 to 10 minutes. And the fifth thing is play subliminal beats or any music without lyrics. I will cover the complete music part in the next section of the video, in which I will exactly explain which music to listen and how they will affect your brain's capacity. The next thing is you have to obliterate your phone. As I have just shown you my Notion template of my flow rituals, the second point in it was put your phone away. Remove your phone from your study space completely. Because if you have the visual cue of your phone, as the habit loop says, the visual cue will lead to the cravings of the phone. In response to those cravings, you will pick up the phone and do all those stimulatory dopamine evoking tasks and you will get the reward, the dopamine. So it is best to remove the cue completely from your study zone so that you do not pick up your phone and just waste your time. You do not have to email, message or call anyone during those periods, and you can also inform your family members or someone who takes care of you that you are working and you will not be available for specific periods of time. The non-negotiable rule is do not switch tasks at all. Even many times I also switch tasks and do multitasking, but human brain is not capable of handling multiple complex tasks at the same time. So it is best to do a particular task, one task at a time. And you should not get up from your study space now and then. You will lose the re-entry time. When you sit down for focus, there is a particular amount of time in which your mind deviates or scatters from its thoughts, and after that the actual flow comes. So if you leave your place and come back after some time, you will have to again go through that particular 15 to 20 to 30 minutes of re-entry time, and then after that you will get into the flow again. So, according to research papers, there is a concept of tension residue, in which there is a persistence of thoughts and cognitive load of the previous tasks you were doing that are continued to the next task that you are doing now. And you will have to face a particular amount of time in which your brain is not focused or creative enough at a particular next task that you have switched. And when you check any notifications or when you pick up your phone while you are working, around 15 to 17 minutes of your next study session is lost. The next thing you have to do is you have to block the digital distractions. Use unhook extension on the Chrome. The unhook extension helps to remove the complete recommendation system of YouTube, so that you can use YouTube only for searching a particular thing, not for scrolling. This will completely vanish the scrolling homepage of the YouTube, so that you can only search the thing that you want and do not get distracted by all those visual cues of watching videos. The second extension that you can use is stay focused. There's a strict mode in stay focused extension. In that mode, it completely blocks all the websites that are not related to your academics or whatever you are doing for a particular period of time. And also it has a mode. There is no option of getting distracted if you use this extension, because in strict mode also you cannot remove that extension and get an escape for you to search anything that is not related to your flow or focus block. The next thing is you have to make the flow sessions enjoyable, because studying for these long hours for a gigantic amount of time, it is not sustainable. So you have to make the flow sessions fun. About music, you can use certain music while you are in flow state. There are particular different music blogs for every type of work that you are doing. I will make a complete specific video on which music is best for any particular work that you do. I will summarize for you it now. For any simple tasks that do not have very high cognitive load, you can listen to any of the music that you love. Also, the music without lyrics are always preferable than music with lyrics. However, for complex tasks, there are particular types of music that enhances the brain capacity to do those cognitive tasks and any creative tasks. These are called subliminal beats. I will link them in the description. Also, all the research papers that I am discussing are linked in the description. Also, according to Pavlov's principle, if you play non-distracting, non-lyrical music during your deep work period, your brain will adapt, and that music will act as a cue for your deep work sessions. Whenever you will play that music again, you will enter into flow state, and after all the study session is done, you can reward yourself. I have explained it really well in my last dopamine loading video that you can watch. After those study blocks, you can do anything that you want. It will not interfere with your dopamine reward system, because you have done all the cognitive load tasks. The last thing that you can do is you can reflect on the particular study or flow session that you have just did. So you can enhance your own process, and you can be accountable to yourself. You will recognize the patterns of the things that you do if you reflect upon these things. That will enhance your next study sessions. You do not have to repeat the same mistakes again. You have to ask yourself 3 questions. Did I check my phone? Did I switch tasks? Did I drift into passive learning or something? Or you can form your own reflective questions according to your needs or your source of distractions. And even I cannot completely sustain 4-hour blocks every time. Having a percentage of 70 to 75% success rate in this is elite. And this system that I have explained, it works really well for me, but you do not have to copy that exactly. Just listen to those principles I have said and design your own system. Maybe 4-hour blocks are not good for you. You have to start slowly to get into the 4-hour block period. You cannot just directly sit and study for 4 hours. You have to first, you can start with ultradian cycles of 90 minutes study and 20 minutes break, and you have to increase that particular time. And your focus will really enhance by a lot. Once you get a habit of focusing that long, you will just be unbeatable. The hardest part is to sit. The hardest part is getting into the zone. So that is why I do not take frequent breaks like classic Pomodoro techniques, because it creates an excuse for me to check my phone now and then in just 25 minutes. I need to repeatedly go away from whatever I'm doing, and even shorter breaks extend into long procrastination periods when I'm using Pomodoro technique. I hope this video helped you in some way to perform better. Thank you.